there has to be a way to make it fair for the artist and whatever platform. Obviously, I want Spotify or I want Apple Music. I want make your money, sure, but how much do you need?
So, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing independent musicians right now?
Streaming. Maybe that pay. I mean, it doesn't pay enough, definitely, but it's not transparent enough. I want to know. I make this. It's even tougher if you're signed to a label because good luck. Seeing any of that money. Um, but it's tough because it's like you want to have your music everywhere. I want you to have my song on Spotify to be able to cue it up whenever you want. But it comes at a cost of me seeing seeing like fractions of a penny for that to happen. I think that there has to be a way to make it fair for the artist and whatever platform. Obviously, I want Spotify or I want Apple Music. I want make your money, sure, but how much do you need? Does it come at the cost of the artist? There's too much good music that will never make it out because it's not on some algorithm. It's not on some that could change someone's life, make someone's day better. And then with them independent musicians, I don't know, myself. It's like getting over these, being okay with failing and just being, I don't know, there's this, I already keep quoting people, but Jim Carrey did a quote, I don't even know if it was him, but it was like, you have to be willing to, and I check myself on this every couple of years. I'm like, am I too comfortable right now? Am I just working to stay in this comfort? Because if I am, then I'm failing. It's like you have to. My Subaru, I have to be willing that one day I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna get repossessed. Let's not go extreme. Or even if that, I have to be okay. I'm like, I want to make music, so if I lose my car, but it's gonna help me do my music, I'm a psychopath in that way, and then I'm willing to give up the car if it's going to help me get my album out. And I've gotten better at it as I've grown up. I'm also making more money now, but it's always been really like music will always trump anything that I want to do. I've almost taught myself how to not do anything else because I only want to do music and I don't want to learn anything. But back to independent musicians. It's hard out there because there's also like shows. You gotta. The thing is, as a musician, you have to be a little bit of delusional, and you have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself a lot. That you're not shy about posting that cringe post. Post it. You know what I mean? It's like who cares? You know what I mean? Like you can't release music and then stop there because that's in the way. That's where the job starts, You recorded it, like, you spent all this time, you're proud of it, act proud of it, Like, look at, think of, a baseball player. When they win the World Series, they put a banner out, they give them rings, you know what I mean? Where you release an album, put a ring on, you know what I mean? What does that ring mean? I released an album, you know what I mean? I put 5, 7 songs, whatever how many songs of my feelings on record and exposed it to the public. Go. That's it. That's the first step. Promote that. Don't leave it there.
So, right now you have a day job. It sounds like you work a lot. What would it mean to you if you had a path to full-time artistry? Like if you were able to support yourself full-time financially as an artist, how would that change your life, and what would that mean to you personally?
I'd be living the dream. Nothing would bother me in the sense of I'm a big believer in no excuses, and it's like it'll test me out and be like, all right, now you can go create. Let's create. And I would also try to be motivational to other musicians. Like keep that music going. You know what I mean? If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's the kind of vibe that but it really is what you put into it. But if I was an independent musician, if I could quit my day job, probably life changing. You know, like I would never leave the studio. I would do studio, run, you know, shows. You know, that's my dream. Like, I know some issues will probably come out of that. You know, there's always a problem. You know, there's always something you have to solve. But I would be on my way to living a more fulfilled life, or at least a life that I want to live.
And what do you think? What do you think's needed to help? Because there is no middle class for musicians anymore. Like, what do you think's needed for independent musicians to kind of open that up for them?
Community. I do think that everything is too divided. So, like, if you're not part of the cool clique, you know, if you don't have the right booking agent, if you don't have the right amount of followers, you know what I mean? Like, I think that community, everybody helps each other up. Yeah, I feel like if you see, I would even say K-pop. Maybe I'm wrong. It's like a group of bands. It's not just like one lone wolf. Being in the music business, lone wolf, it's hard. You know, like I like to be prideful of me being a lone wolf, but sense of community is like we all rise together always. You know, it's like any genre of music. It's like, in a sense, it's the same machine. It's just a different listener. You know what I mean? For me, this is all my opinions. But yeah, I think community. If musicians had a way to easily work with each other, but not in like a, because there's ways that you can stream, you can play together. You guys aren't in the same room. Community, I think, is very like you have to be present. You know what I mean? Like I still believe that like I have to go to shows, independent shows. You know, people like smaller bands. It's very important that I'm out in the community, that everybody is putting their 2 cents in. I can go create music for myself that with my opinion, but at the same when we're bringing it all to the table, how do we get us to the next level? 3 bands on a bill that are all on equal. It just makes it easier for everybody. Not easier, like it's just like makes it more possible for everybody. It's a hard business. It's savage, but power in numbers. You know, you're not gonna go to a war with 2 soldiers. You go to a war with like 10,000 soldiers. You know what I mean? Like, and just being able to find those like-minded people, or even unlike-minded, but like the people that have the same, that understand. You know?